Hey, hey, I am back. I am back. Where y'all at? I am back for another episode of not Welcome, of Sip with Joy. I started drinking the champagne just a tad bit early, so yeah, y'all gonna have to forgive me this time. But welcome back to another episode of Sip with Joy, a show about a girl, her wine, and her feelings, and I am that girl. I'm Joy M. Hutton, serial entrepreneur and lover of food and wine. And guys, it's the season finale. I made it. We all made it. But thank you so much for being on this journey with me. It's fitting that this episode is called Exit Stage Left because it's the season finale. Hey, Galactos. Hey, guys. Come on in. I'm going to drink my champagne because it's a celebration. I got my sequins on. I'm ready for y'all today. All right. So celebrate with me today. Let me know you're here. Yes, I'm drinking a brut champagne. And actually, even though this is a brut champagne, it is sweeter than I thought it would be. So I will be talking more about that on the sip of the day. Hey, Tiffany, cheers. So yeah, I was so nervous about doing this podcast because I was afraid of doing a show solo. I've always had a co-host, but I'm so happy and grateful for you all because you all have made me feel loved and safe in this space. And I appreciate the engagement and with each other, with me while we're on this episode because I'm just, I don't want to feel like I'm talking to myself. So, and this is one of the main reasons why I like doing these episodes live because I get to talk to you guys. So I really appreciate you all. Hey, Robin. And like I said, being on this journey with me because it was something I was nervous about doing. So this is the season finale, and I promise y'all I'll be back. I will be back on October 3rd. So just taking a little break in September because it's a lot going on in that month for me. So but I would love to know what you guys would like to hear about in the future on the next episodes of Sip with Joy, kind of what you want me to talk about. And I've gone back and forth about bringing guests on because this is my show. But I know some people have asked me about guests. Hi, Alea. Some people have asked me about guests, and I think I will bring on guests every once in a while just to mix it up a bit. But the reasons why I offer call-ins on this show is so that I could talk to y'all, y'all that are watching. So y'all be acting all scary. You don't want to call in. But I think it's a way to have you guys be more involved rather than me having guests to kind of chime in on what I'm talking about or just ask me questions in general. It doesn't even have to be what I'm talking about. But I like talking to y'all. And so, keeping that open dialogue because this is a show that's very personal to me. So, we'll see about the guests. If I were to bring on guests, I envision people who are probably, because y'all know I be about therapy and stuff, probably some relationship experts or some therapists, people in the mental health space and also the wine space. That's kind of my idea, but y'all can let me know what you wanna hear. Can I bring Lydia? Yeah, Lydia can be a guest. Thank you so much, Stacy. Hey, yeah. So I appreciate that. So this has been a big step for me because I think, this came out of me, when I decided not to do failure to communicate. I was at home and I was just kind of reflecting on that podcast, and I really wasn't thinking about doing a podcast on my own. It just sort of happened. I had an epiphany, and for those that know me, I love wine, and literally I just was like, Sip with Joy. It just came in my mind. And so I was like, okay. And so I just started putting it together, and here we are. So this is a show where I've been able to be vulnerable with you guys, and it makes me very emotional because I was talking to Lydia earlier, and I think about all the things that I've overcome, especially within within the last 5 years. Oh man, it's the champagne. I'm blaming it on the champagne. But I appreciate you guys letting me be open in this space. All right. Hey, Elsie. Let me drink some champagne because I'm not supposed to be up here crying today. But I think about all the things that I've overcome. And it's been a lot. And so I want to share those things with people because people often don't talk about the things that they're going through. And so, for me, this was a way for me to open dialogue about a lot of different things, whether it's relationships, whether it's grief, whether it's rolling on the floor on days where I don't want to be an entrepreneur. So a very personal space for me. And that's why it's called A Girl, Her Wine, and Her Feelings. But, yeah, so I appreciate you all being open with me and again being on this journey with me as I enter this space by myself. But yeah, so thinking about what's next, I'd love to hear from you guys what you'd like to hear about, any topics related to me or just any topics in general, kind of what I want to do next with Sip with Joy. I want to start curating some dining experiences. I have this global community now that also has a love for wine, but also they're like, oh, you're talking about some real stuff. It's not just gossip or whatever. And so I want to eventually have a wine club where I can curate some wines for you guys. So I'm not putting a timeline on that stuff because I'm a big procrastinator. But I'm putting it out there because you all can hold me accountable for what I said. Because I know you all will. Like, Joy, didn't you say you were going to do a wine club and you were going to have all these dining experiences and stuff? Some signature wine glasses. So, yeah, things that really make me happy. And wine makes me happy. Wine and food. Thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate you. And yeah, so I want to start doing some different things with that, but I'm manifesting it. I'm manifesting my wine bar in a couple of years too. So when y'all come visit to Houston, you can come to my wine bar. Okay. But what I've learned about myself in doing this podcast is that I have continued to put myself in positions where I'm stretching myself. And I think we all should do that because stretching yourself is a part of growing, and it's in a good way. You're growing in a good way, but it's also being comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I remember I said that I did a speaking engagement in 2019, and that was a part of my speech that I'm going to commit to being comfortable, being uncomfortable. And it's painful at times, and it's scary too, like how I just, told you guys how this has been scary for me, but I think that, we have to stretch ourselves. Do it scared, as they say. Sometimes they say when you're feeling scared about something, maybe that means you should actually do it because it's something that you wanted to do. And, we have this fear of failure, but we grow through our failure. We grow through our setbacks. So don't be scared to do it. I'm here to be your cheerleader. Y'all have been here to be mine. So I'm here for it all. I've also learned that, not being afraid to speak my truth despite public opinion. When I did the last podcast, these people were eating me alive, but at the end of the day, I showed up as Joy M. Hutton, and I wasn't afraid to do that. I wasn't ashamed of anything that I was saying. I was being authentic, and so ain't no shame in my game, and I had to realize, and I've learned this from younger people too, because they get trolled all the time. I watched this show, Sweet Life, on HBO. It's Issa Rae's show, and they just get dragged on social media, and although it affects them, they're like, at the end of the day, I'm going to be me. And so we can learn something from the tweens. So I'm learning something in that space too. Like, people are always going to have something to say, and we either just got to let it roll off our back or clap back. And, I ain't got the energy all the time to be clapping back at people, so it's like, I'm going to take the high road today. Yes, Tiffany said we have to get uncomfortable to grow. Absolutely. And then also, learning to do what makes me happy. After my sister passed, I was really guilty about doing things that made me happy because she passed at such a young age and she was not able to continue to do the things that she wanted to do, continue to do. And so I felt guilty. I felt guilty about days that I woke up and I was happy, and or me having some sense of enjoyment. And I think I mentioned this before, I had to realize that she wouldn't want me to be unhappy. So I need to start living my life for joy and continuing to just shine the light that she had when she was here. And so, but doing what makes me happy, I have sacrificed so much of myself for people and past relationships when I was married, friendships, and I'm just done doing that. So for me, it's about joy, being happy. And yes, my name is Joy, but I ain't always happy. So it's just showing up for me finally. And so again, that's kind of what I'm learning through this experience and doing this podcast. And then the final thing, I've learned about myself doing this podcast is letting go of things and people that do not contribute to my growth. Because my pastor did a sermon on Sunday and he said, we are made for more. Period. I am made for more, and it's not drama. It's not people that bring me down. It's not things that take my energy, things that bring me down. We are made for more. I am made for more. And y'all are too. So those are some of the things, and you guys can tell me some things that you guys learned from me doing this podcast too, because I don't want to do this in vain, guys. I could sit here and talk all day, all night, but I want to make sure that it's adding value and I'm not just talking, to the wind here. Elsie, yeah, lost my sister last year, and no, when I think of postponing something, I think of her and do it. Exactly. We only have one life. So what are we going to do? I don't remember who said it, but they said, imagine that your life is a movie and think about what character do you want to play in it? What character do we want to play in that movie? So I want to be the main character and I want to live my best life. So, think about that. Think about who you want to be in that movie. And I think I forgot to put up my little bottle here, y'all, but I'm drinking a brut champagne for those of you that are coming in a little late. So yeah, I am just kind of thinking about all of that and kind of what I've taken away from this. And I was about to take a sip. All right. So speaking of a sip, what the sip today, and we're talking about, just being yourself and, showing up as yourself and not worry about what other people are saying. What the sip today is about Lizzo. And one thing I love about Lizzo, and she has been vulnerable about things that have hurt her, but I think now she's getting to a point where she just doesn't give a damn. And she's like, you know what? I'm tired of y'all talking about me. I'm a big girl, but guess what? So I'm sure some of you heard about Ari Spear, who looks like a mongoloid, and he out here talking about Lizzo. He could barely get through a sentence without catching his breath, and he's talking about Lizzo. He said she looked like a poop emoji. And I'm like, really? Why you sitting up here looking like a bag of potatoes, you talking about Lizzo? And I mean, it's just disgraceful. It's like, have you looked in the mirror lately? And he had the nerve to say, oh, I thought I was handsome. Really? Which mirror are you looking in? Because it ain't the same mirror. It's not the same one we looking at. So it's just like, wow, you sitting up here looking like a sack of potatoes and you talking about Lizzo. And Ari Spears, he's always been a big guy. So how you going to talk about Lizzo? When she's at the height of her career, she's okay with who she is. And I said, I don't know who gave him a shot of confidence, but that ain't it, Aries. So I'm glad that she didn't respond to the negativity. She said, people out here talking about me in the press, but guess what? Big Bitches is winning. So shut up and keep it moving. It's like, wow. But again, continuing to show up show up as yourself and not falling into what people are saying, and falling into just public opinion, because someone is always going to have something to say. Sometimes it be your closest friends, sometimes it be your own family. It's like someone's always going to have something to say. So it's like you have to live unapologetically in your truth and just be unbothered AF. And everybody's human, right? So you're gonna have some emotions, but it's like we can't sit in it. We can't sit in it, and we can't let it fester. Oh, Lydia, they said bring you on as a guest on Sip with Joy. But yeah. So anyway, all right. So I'll open it up for callers. I'm opening it up to y'all, 713-396-0277. And yes, let's take this mongoloid. Yeah, he has a slowness in the eyes. Yeah, so 396-0277, area code 713. Give me a call, and if not, we got these questions from viewers. We'll move on to, and y'all still haven't said what y'all want me to talk about on here, and what you have learned, all that good stuff. All right, so we'll get into these questions. I'll leave that number up in case anybody wants to call. So, some questions here. First questions. Did you accomplish what you set out to do with starting Sip with Joy? So, I talked a little bit about it, but I think I did. I think I set out to just have a space where I felt like this was a safe space for me to share my feelings, talk about things that are authentic to me. And we have a caller. Hello.
Hey, Joy. This is Tiffany. How are you?
Hey, Tiffany.
I had to call on this last show of the first season. I called on your first show.
Thanks for calling.
Give you a call. Yes, ma'am. I really do enjoy all your shows, honestly. Because I feel like, we get different sides of you. Mm-hmm. Still the same Joy, but different views on different things. So I appreciate all 3 shows I've seen you on.
Thank you.
Yeah. And it's definitely been helpful for me. The whole, the grieving, that's been definitely helpful. Or because of the grieving or the death of whatever, the marriage, right, a loved one, all that, what you are and aren't going to put up with anymore, and just finding your worth and value through those hurts. It's a shame that we have to go through stuff like that, but it definitely changes your perspective on life.
Absolutely.
So I totally get it. I get it. So honestly, whatever you're talking about, I'm here to listen.
Oh, thank you, Tiffany. You a real one. You always been a real one.
Listen. I'm like, I can't wait for you to have an event, because I'm there.
Yes,
For real. I'm right here in Houston. So
I know.
I'm ready.
I know. We definitely have to meet. Yes. Well, thank you so much, Tiffany.
Yes.
I appreciate you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. And we'll be looking when you come back in October.
All right.
I'll be ready. What's the date again?
October 3rd, because I know y'all going to hold me accountable. The first Monday in October.
Okay, I'm going to put it in my calendar now.
Okay. All right.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. I love Tiffany. She's so sweet. Okay, so what did I accomplish? So yeah, I think I did. I definitely want to expand into other realms because I do love wine, and so I want to talk a little bit more about that, next season, and give y'all some little more tips in there. But yeah, I created a safe space. I'm here, in my home, and it's a safe space for me, and I feel like I'm just talking to friends, So yeah, I think I did, and I didn't know what it would turn out to be, but it's been a beautiful journey. It's been a beautiful journey. All right, next question. What's your age limit when it comes to dating? From youngest to oldest. Whew, that's an interesting question. Now, my perspective keeps changing on the dating age, because I don't want somebody so old, because my old eggs and they old sperm, when we get together, I can't have my baby coming out looking like Benjamin Button. So, I need someone that's right about my age, 40, or a few years older. Anything older than that, I'm scared. I'm scared. Can't have my baby come out looking like Benjamin Button, y'all. And then on the younger side, I had somebody in my DMs that's 28, and I'm like, ooh, that's so young. But listen, these women out here dating these younger men, and they seem to be just fine. Erica Badu got her young Tinder, so I might just explore young Tinder. So, but I prefer to stay like 35. You got to be mid 30s, at least mid 30s, for me to take you seriously. Anything younger than that, I'm like, you're just not ready. And I'm like, I can't. I can't. So, yeah, that's my range. I know that's like a wide range, but yeah. Okay, let's see. Where did I go to school? I went to school in Maine. I went to Bowdoin College in Brunswick, Maine, the second whitest state in the nation. Yes, I went all the way from Chicago to Maine, and it is a small private liberal arts school. And I got a degree in sociology, minor in Spanish, and I got my master's in public administration from DePaul in Chicago. And then I started my MBA at Duke in 2018, but then I decided not to go back, because at this point I'm like, I'm all into entrepreneurship, and I'd rather put that time and money into wine, as opposed to spending $160,000 on a degree that I didn't necessarily want, but I thought I needed. So there's that. Okay. What do I do in my free time? Well, you guys know I drink wine. I love trying new restaurants. I love football, so I like sports, basketball. I like going to concerts, art galleries. Traveling is number one. I love to travel. I try to go somewhere at least once a month, because I got to take a break from Houston, because people be stressing me out in Houston. But yeah, that's what I love to do. And then finally, are you a workaholic like most Capricorns? I feel judged. I feel really judged. I am a workaholic. But here's the thing. When I am dating someone, I think I'm pretty good at balancing my time between that person and my work. Like, I only work all night because ain't nobody sitting next to me. It's me and Gigi. And so I work because I don't have anything else to do unless I'm out or I'm traveling or something like that. But yeah, I am a workaholic. Sad to say. Sad to say. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, so yeah, guys, this is the season finale. I'll be back October 3rd. I'm going to close it out with two things, okay? One, I want to let y'all know how to pronounce sommelier, okay? Some of y'all might know it as sommelier, but I don't want to hear none of y'all saying sommelier ever again, okay? Sommelier, okay? Y'all hear me? Sommelier. So I need y'all to pronounce that word. Sommelier. Not sommelier, okay? Sommelier. All right? So we're going to do some lessons out here. Okay. So that's it. And I want y'all to be kind to yourselves. I'll still be doing sip of the days, but they'll be more like wine tips instead of what I'm drinking. And then we'll do what I'm drinking when I come back. But I'll have some fun wine tips for you. Hope you guys have an amazing Labor Day. Stay in touch. Let me know what y'all want to hear about next season, okay? Because y'all didn't say that in the chat. So, so y'all get it together, okay? Let me know what you want to hear. That's all I got, y'all. I love y'all. Thank you so much for a great season. Next season will be a little longer. My calendar shifted this season because I was trying to find a podcast tech, and well, we know that didn't work out because y'all see me over here doing all the things by myself. So yeah, so I love y'all. Thank you, and I will see you all back in October. But follow on Instagram so you get all the tips and all the drinkings, and I'll see you later.